my name is Sarah. Welcome to your English Country English to read today. Snow Bunny Tales. Max and Ruby book. This book is one book and 3 stories. And Henry and Mudge in the Bedtime Thumps. Are you ready to read? Here we go. Snow Bunny Tales. Snowplow. Max and Ruby won a Saturday morning. He had sold and sold all night long. Look, Max, the snow so deep, said Ruby. Ruby jumped into the snow. She made a snow orange. Max made one too. Let's solve a pen Grandma can't visit, said Ruby. Snowplow, said Max. We don't have a snowplow, Max, said Ruby. Let's get snowshoes from the chute. Inside chute, Max hopped into the toy car. He told her, No, Max, said Ruby. We have sold a property from Grandma. We don't have Max onto the shovel path. He tossed snow into the air to show. He landed on Ruby. That's not very cheap snow, said Ruby. He showed Max how to show. But Max told more, said Ruby. Max, said Ruby. Cool, said Max. No, Max, said Ruby. Your car won't work in snow. Your wheels not torn. And Ruby sat from Max's car, but she hears no shoe. Let's go, Max, said Ruby. Ruby and Max made a path through the snow all the way to Grandma's house. Look, it's a snowball, said Grandma. Snow day. The snow was coming down very hard. Max and Ruby could see everything but white outside in the window. Outside, said Max. No, Max, said Ruby. It's too cold. It's wind blowing too hard. Today we'll play inside. They call the snow days. Let's go finger painting, Max, said Ruby. We can make pretty pictures. Ruby went find some paper, but Max had an idea. Max did not want to make a pretty pictures. Interest, Max put up his hands all over the cupboard and the wall. Ruby saw Max throw pictures everywhere, but she didn't see Max. Max, where are you? He called. Max is trying to sneak out the door. Outside, said Max. Inside, said Ruby. Ruby helped Max came up. Now, Max, some beautiful jelly, Max, said Ruby. Ruby showed Max how to make a necklace. How necklace is beautiful, Max, said Ruby. But Max did not want to make a jelly. Interest, Max will pull Ruby's things around everything. Max, what are you doing? Asked Ruby. Max opens the door. Outside, said Max. Inside, Ruby said under Max. Next, Max and Ruby upstairs to play. Ruby routed all the doors, but Max did not want to play with them. Suddenly, a tall teapot rang. It was Liz. It stopped snowing, said Liz. Come up and play. Come on, Max, said Ruby. Let's go outside. Meanwhile, Max hugged all of the Ruby's dolls all over the string. He pulled down the string. Boom! Went to the doors. Inside, said Max. Rock and run. Max and Ruby and Liz were going to sailing. The snow was deep and air was crisp. They were very exciting. Are you ready to down the rock and run? Asks Release. You bet, said Ruby. Max couldn't wait to get the hill. Faster, said Max. When they got there, everyone was swinging down rock and run. Wow, said the Ruby and Release. Faster, said Max. No, Max, said Ruby. Only big bunny go down rock and run. You can go down Bunny Hill. It's time to little bunnies like you, Max, said Ruby. But Max did not like Bunny Hill. He was small as snow. He waited to go to work and run in stress. Faster, said Max. I'm a little scared of the rock and run, Louise, said Ruby. Me too, said Louise. Meanwhile, Max, Ruby, and Lee see Max go in, and he wants a very top off. Working, jump down into the Max. Ruby and Louise down into the Max said bye. We better Max before it gets hurt, said Ruby. Let's go, said Louise. Then one of the girls down into the hill. This fun, said Ruby. I'm not scared anymore. Me neither, said Release. Vroom, everybody scratched in the pile of the bottom of the rocket run. Faster, said Max. The end. And Henry and Mudge and the Bedtime Thumps. To the grandma's house, Henry and Mudge and the big dog were going to the country with Henry's parents, and Henry's were reading some books. Mudge is chilling in the towels. They're going to visit with the grandmas, and Henry's grandmother had never met them much, so Henry's worried. And my doll in the shirt, and he worried that much midnight at the cover table, and that much midnight has slept outside. Much ever never slept outside before, and that much sleep outside and will ever alone and trying to sleep in empty room, and a strange house in the dark yard in the country. Henry read some books and worried. The longer he wrote, the more worried. So he began to be finished. Cubisbit. Henry is finished and must chew tornadoes. And they drive on. Hello, sweetie. After reading a long time, Henry and Mudge saw grandmother's house. He said a bunch of birds and the garden full of corn. Henry and Mudge looked at each other. The flying girls and the tornadoes were very short. Henry and Henry's grandmother came outside. She had a big smile and a polka dot dress. And Mudge took one at all, and the toe wiggled and wiggled and wiggled. Hello, sweetie, said Henry's grandmother said to Henry. She hugged him nice. Hello, sweetie, said the grandmother said to Mudge. She hugged tight. Henry and Henry's grandmother wiped the doll off the sleep and followed her to the house. A lot of looks. Henry and Henry's grandmother's house was very small. He had lots of tables and things on the tables. And Henry looked at Mudge and thought the first time watches that Mudge was a smaller, shorter, thinner, and Mudge looked like an elephant in the palm booth. And before too long, Mudge knocked a pink flamingo on the table. Ah, Mudge, Henry said. Henry faster gave a Mudge look. Then Mudge knocked the washing well off on the table. Oh, Mudge, Henry said. Henry's faster and Henry's mother kept Mudge looked. When then Mudge knocked a ball in the potter's and the table, and Henry's father gave him a big mother, and Henry's grandmother gave him a look. And Henry's father said, "Outside!" Mudge looked out, and Henry's giving everybody a look. The bedtime Thumps. Everybody dinner, he played outside with Mudge. They love in the bed bath, and it's like a giant water dish in him. When in the dark yard, and Henry's father called him Henry in. "What about Mudge?" asked Henry. "He had to live outside," said Henry's father. "Outside?" said Henry. Henry and Mudge is sitting in the dark country yard and afraid he couldn't run lonely. She afraid Mudge be sad. But mostly he had afraid and Mudge would be asleep and Henry needed to save from the bear, a nothing, and a giant mouse or a mouse. Henry gave Mudge a tight hug, then went outside and finishes, and washed in the bed and lay in the dark, and eyes were big. He shivered in the morning, his knees were shaking, then whoosh, flop. A mouse! Henry jumped out of his bed. He's run out from the door. "Mudge!" he called out like this bird. "Thump! Thump! Thump!" Mudge wiggled his tail under the porch table. "Ah, Mudge," Henry said, and he called under the table too. He glad to see Mudge, and Mudge glad to see him. Mudge licked Henry's face and smelled of the ears, and she shook his hand. Then Henry laid his head on Mudge's big chest. He finally slept a good sleep at his strange house in the dark yard in the country. And when the mouse flew by, Mudge ate it. The end. Did you have fun? You don't to come back in a better book. And it's Eunice goodbye and the book changed goodbye too. Henry and Mudge and the bedtime Thumps. This is Henry's grandmother goodbye, and Henry's father and mother goodbye, and Henry's grandfather goodbye, and Mudge very, very, very goodbye. And this is grandmother polka dot dress goodbye too. And this is Max and Ruby Snow Bunny Tales. Max and Ruby goodbye. And this is Henry's. This is Max and Ruby grandmother goodbye. And this is Lily goodbye too. And snow day is over. And goodbye too. And you're very, 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 very goodbye. And I love you friends and see you next time. See you tomorrow.